actually the first time that I saw the title of your record, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, I said it out loud and it felt like a discovery, like it is something that you discovered about yourself. Did I interpret that right? Or have you always known that you were an introvert?
Yeah, I think I've always known. I just never knew what the term was for it. Like when I was younger, I didn't know like it was introvert. I just thought, oh, I'm just like to myself and whatnot. But I think yeah, as I've gotten older, I've realized like I'm still very much this person, but I know how to use extroverted parts of my personality too, which is
Mhm.
when I'm on stage or, things like
Yeah.
this.
When did the title come?
Fairly early on, I think. Um, yeah, I think the title came in the earlier sessions. I knew I wanted to call it that because the stuff I was writing, it kept going back to the fact that I'm introverted, and so I thought, oh, this would be cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, I had the title for a while.
Do you view your introversion as a strength?
Yes, for sure. I
Yeah.
definitely do view it as a strength, and I see it as my superpower. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just who I am, and it is what it is. And I still have a way in which I can channel how I think and feel, and that's through my art.
Mhm.
So yeah, I definitely see it as a strength.
At this moment, Gray Area, it's a few years old now. I felt like was one of your greatest records so far. But I also felt like you were kind of like trying to test out the waters when it comes to like being vulnerable on the record. And with this album,
Yeah.
I feel like you went all out. What gave you the courage to open up this much?
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world in the time I was making the album.
Mhm.
And like I didn't I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to play another show again, if I was going to make another album again. Like, so for me, it was just like, while I'm here, I'm just going to say everything I want to say and treat every album like it's my last, you know what I mean? And just go for it.
Did you feel any pressure when you went back to the studio?
No, I think like the when I was like winning awards and whatnot and doing interviews, they would always ask me like, what's your next album going to be like? And are you
Mhm.
ready? And do you feel pressure? And this? And that honestly didn't really come into my mind until people started asking me about it.
Mhm.
And then I thought, oh shit, okay. I guess people really do expect me to step up, which I'm naturally gonna do by default, but it's never been like a thing like you have
Mhm.
to, you know.
Mhm.
But as soon as I got back into the studio, all of that went out the window and I just do what I do,
Mhm.
and I just create and just have fun. And I work with people that I enjoy working with. So it was like, yeah.
But this record, it is also filled with amazing soul and jazz influences. You studied Nina Simone, I read John Coltrane, Billie Holiday, Biggie Smalls. What have you learned studying those artists?
That I think they was just unapologetically themselves and they was true to the art. I don't think it didn't feel like they was like trying to chase a hit.
Hmm.
They just in a studio and made hits. Like that was just it. Do you know what I'm saying? Their songs just connected and resonated. And um yeah, I think they was just very, very honest in their music and always reflected the times. I think that's super important as well when artists can reflect what's happening in the world, but also in their personal life and how that relates to someone else. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just think they were great storytellers.
I feel the same way. And also I feel like throughout the album you talk a lot about that you're going for the longevity, like not being just like a one-hit wonder, or that you want to be here for the long run, kind of.
Yeah.
What do you think makes an artist uh sounding not dated to make a timeless record? What do you think is a secret to make a timeless record?
Oh, the secret. I don't know. I think maybe just like working with people that bring the right intention to your project
Hmm.
and working with people that understand you as an artist and that can draw something out of you. Yeah, it just depends on what you want. I think I've always known that I want to be here for a long time and I want to make classic albums and I want I want to be, do you know what I'm saying, a
Mm-hmm.
worldwide artist. Like I want my songs to bang everywhere, you know, because I've always just felt that I can relate to people. So I think it just depends on what you want.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, speaking of people that, how important it is to work with the right people, Inflo has a hand again in your work. Amazing producer. How did you guys meet? And when did you know, okay, this is my guy who can bring
Mm,
out the best out of me?
mm. Yeah, I've known Flo for years, innit? Like I've grown up with him like from 9, 10, like I've known him. Um yeah, like our families know each other, like his mum's my aunt, like we grew up in the same area, went to the same youth center. So I've been knowing him for ages. And we was working like when I was about, I don't know, 15, 14, 15, 16, around them ages. And all the songs we used to do then sound like the stuff you hear now. It's
Really?
just, yeah, 100%. It was always like weird and experimental, but like hip hop, but you know, cool and edgy, but no one knew who he was. That's the only thing. So like we've always been on that sort of wave of pushing the boundaries and trying new things and making really dope stuff, which I've always felt is dope, but
Hmm.
no one knew of us at the time. Do you know what I mean? And so I guess it just took years of working and getting to grips with the sound that I want to continue to build for myself and moving forward, to where we are now, which is making, you know, making gray area and then making, sometimes it might be introvert. Um, yeah, I think over time we've just evolved, but we've always had the same thinking in our sound, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. When I heard the first record, the first song, Introvert, the the cinematic, the big beginning of the song, I was like, oh my gosh, how did they come up with this? Like, whose
Mm.
idea was it? And then I saw the video that you recently posted when it was recorded with all those the orchestra and stuff like that. I was like, okay, who came up with this to make it so big and so cinematic as well? And it
Mm.
really supports the storytelling that you earlier talked about that you admire so much in these other artists.
Yeah. Well, I just remember Flo playing like the song on piano first. That's what it started on piano. So, dun 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 dun
Uh-huh.
dun. That this is all on piano. And at first I was like, this is a bit slow. Then he like sped it up with this. Dun, 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 dun. It's like, oh, this is cool. Then I just start rapping over it or whatever. And then he put some drums down. It was literally very, very bare. It was just piano and drums and me.
Mhm.
And then we got like a team of people in, like Rosie Danvers, who like done the string arrangements, Kadeen Clark, who played on it, but also works with the backing vocalist to do all the backing vocals on it. We had brass players, we had guitar, like just so many different elements to help uplift the song. But at its core, it was just me and Flo, yeah, just trying some stuff.
I
Yeah.
also I also feel like one of the things that really supports the storytelling are the interludes that are done by Emma Corrin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
People might know her from The Crown, and I don't want to sound all weird and spiritual, but when I was listening to it, it almost felt like your higher self is speaking to you, saying the
Mm.
things that you kind of already know deep down, but sometimes somebody just has to say it to you.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. But I want the listener to feel like that about that.
Mm.
Like, I want, well, the listener can interpret it however they want, but I imagine, but that's the whole point. Like, I imagine the listener to feel like this is stuff I already know, and maybe my higher self is like speaking to me or whatnot. Um, or however they want to interpret it. Do you know what I'm saying? I kind of left it open, but I think those interludes definitely help expand the album and tell the story further, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the interludes that I loved so much was Gems, in which Emma says, inhale, exhale. Do you want 15 years or 15 minutes? Do not tire yourself out. When is the last time that you had to remind yourself of that?
Today, maybe.
Really?
Like, yeah, so it's a constant fit, especially now because we're so close to the release, and obviously there's like a lot going on, but I just have to remind myself to like breathe and like take time and like, yeah, don't tire yourself out, because if you crash, then none of this shit works, you know what I'm saying? So I just have to pace myself and just have people understand that I need to pace myself as well, because people get excited and like there's all these demands and I gotta do all these interviews and whatever, which is great. Like people want to talk to me, but at the same time, like I'm not someone that always wants to over explain my art.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes it just is, bro. Like I don't know how this line came to my head. It just did. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the answers. Like I don't want to have to break every. This is no
No,
shade,
no,
by
no,
the
no,
way.
no, 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 no. Don't,
Please
please
don't
go
take
ahead. No,
it.
I'm not taking it personal. It's okay.
Okay, cool. But just on some real talk, like is sometimes things naturally just come when I'm creating, and I don't always feel like I need to explain that. That's part of my gift, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just those daily reminders of just like just take time and allow yourself to be present as well.
Yeah. I also love the song How Did You Get Here so much. Um, how do you
Yeah.
think Little Simz got where she is today, where you are today?
Um, I think I got here by believing I was already here.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I knew like I just knew like there's something in me that was just like, yeah, but I'm already there in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm already playing to 10,000 people and there's only 10 people in the room. I'm already doing it. You know what I mean? And I've just had such a strong belief in myself, because I've always known what I'm capable of, and I know my abilities stretch further, you know. Um, so I think just that belief in myself and just being persistent as well. Um, I think I've got here by treating people with respect, because I've met a lot of people that have helped me um, when I didn't have nothing, just because of who I am as a person. Do you know what I mean? And these people, yeah, cool, this talented young girl, but they just want to help someone that they feel is nice and genuine and like wants to change their life. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's an amalgamation of a lot of things, but I think ultimately probably belief and just being consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a last question for you. The last song on the record is called Misunderstood, and you can read it as being understood or not understood at all.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in your life, do you feel understood?
um I feel understood by the ones that want to understand and that genuinely get it, you know what I'm saying? But I feel misunderstood sometimes by those who, yeah, just obviously don't take the time to understand or don't want to and just not that interested, which is bittersweet. Part of me is like, yeah, cool, it is what it is. But part of me is like, but if you just tried to understand,
Yeah.
you would butt with it, you know what I'm saying? You would get it. Like, um, yeah, and that comes in all forms, whether that's people that I know personally or in my personal life or whatever it is, or people on the outside. It's always like this bittersweet thing. But I've felt like this for a while for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because also looking back at it now, do you think, does it matter if you're understood or not?
This is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing. Doesn't matter. Maybe not. You know what I mean? But I think these are all questions like that I want to pose throughout the album. Do you know what I mean? Like, even for example, in standing ovation, why the desperate need for an applause? Like, why do I want to be remembered so badly? Why do I want to be a legend? What does that actually mean? Like, all these questions, like, why does it bother you if you're misunderstood or not? It's just me, like, sitting in the feeling and expressing it, but then also challenging that thought and feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, why is that though? You know? So I don't know. Maybe there'll be a reveal on the next album. Who knows?
Who knows?